Hi, everyone, and welcome to Keep It Personal. Getting people to pay attention, to stay, and truly feel connected to your brand has never been harder. We are surrounded by noise and automation, but customers do not stay because you are efficient, they stay because you are personal. This show is brought to you to help you learn more about this. How personalization, smart use of AI, and real human connection help you create experiences people remember and relationships that last. Keep It Personal is brought to you by Personal, the personalized video software for busy teams who need more than automation. We combine flexibility, security, and expert guidance to help you turn attention into action. I'm your host, Josías De La Espada, CEO at Personal, and today we're diving into one of the biggest challenges every brand is dealing with going into 2026. What really drives customer loyalty, and why personalization has become the most powerful retention strategy you can activate. To unpack this, I'm joined by Bryan, Growth Marketing Manager here at Personal. Hey, Bryan, how's it going?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. I'm so excited for today.
That makes two of us. Together, we'll break down the loyalty equation. What's putting today's customers, your customers, relationship at risk, and how brands are using personalized video to build trust, relevance, and real connection at scale. So let's jump into it. So, Bryan, I know this part of the year is full of planning and wraps up.
Mhm,
And but this question goes straight to what every brand depends on, which is customer loyalty.
mhm.
And as you pointed also even in the show notes, let's say this isn't about discounts or points. It's about why customers stay and how personalization has become the most powerful retention strategy people can activate, teams can activate. So how about you unpack a bit more about this for all of us?
Yes, yes, I say yes. You know what? Across industries, loyalty is eroding already. According to Deloitte's Digital 2024 Global Marketing Trends Report, more than 60% of consumers said they switched brand in the past year because a competitor better understood their needs. That's more than 60%. Meanwhile, the cost of acquiring a new customer has increased by roughly 60% over the past 5 years. So,
Hmm.
what I'm trying to say here is we're spending more to win the same people back because they live when communication feels generic. Because customers don't churn out of disloyalty, they churn when brands stop being personal.
Hmm. Just a moment ago, I was having a call with someone. Maybe we're going to interview in the following weeks. Actually, it's
Mhm.
a CMO, and she started. I'm going to say this. I don't know if this is 100% correct, like this, but a marketing department from scratch in a company that was already working really well in terms of sales,
Yeah.
and like recently. And one of the things that um, got my attention is that it seems that a lot of that has come through, like their growth has come through word of mouth, and
Yeah.
obviously I guess a really good sales process. So in the end, what we are seeing is that people are loyal to people, and that has is connected to how people feel, to emotions. So here's a formula we recommend, what I would recommend to pretty much every company that needs more clients and needs to help their clients stay with them for a longer period of time. So that lifetime value, let's say, extended. That would be focusing on loyalty, which
Mhm.
is more or less equals recognition, relevance, and a healthy relationship with your audiences. So in terms of recognition, for instance, people, we all, it's basically, it has to do with helping your audience or helping everyone's audiences on the other side of the screen know who they are. So you know who I am, and as a customer, as a consumer, let's say, but beyond just my name, You know what my next or potential next step is, why this path is better than this one based on my specific context. And that goes even beyond just data, beyond a number or a fancy stat, even on a video or on a PDF or on an email. Relevance, that would be understanding what matters to me as a buyer right now, or to your customers. And this is regardless if you're talking about B2B or B2C or
Mm-hmm.
B2B2C or any letters around that. So in the end, again, we go back to the individual, go back to their context, to their needs, their aspirations, their concerns, their objections. When you take all that into account, you're also, and you use that information to serve them better, you are also building that loyalty up. And then lastly, again, relationship. So
Yes.
in the end, we value brands that keep showing up with value and context. And as you can see, everything is connected. So it's not 100% mathematical. So it's not loyalty equals recognition plus relevance plus relationship. But I guess as marketers, it makes it easier for us to remember those important topics. So in the end, most brands stop at recognition, and you can see these a lot, for instance, in e-commerce, where they are helping you remember what you have bought, but
Mm-hmm.
perhaps they are leaving behind the why you have bought something, and understanding that why can help people come back. But loyalty in the end grows when you connect context with emotion, and
Yeah.
that context and those emotions actually change throughout their journey. They are dynamic. However, many organizations think about them in as like static. It's going to be always the same for Mark now, in 3 months from 3 months from now, or 3 years from now. However, it changes. Everything changes always. And when we take all that into account, then you're having a conversation with them, and just like you and I are kind of talking, although I have extended more than what I had in mind for this specific part of this conversation. Any thoughts that come to your mind, Brian, about this?
Actually, as you mentioned a while ago, the recognition, you make them feel important, and at the same time, you're not just making them feel important. You are making it more human, so that they would feel that it's more than data, right?
Hmm. Yeah, that is correct, and that's the power of storytelling, for instance.
Yes.
So, as silly side note, a few days ago, my son, he was preparing a presentation for a school, and it was about, I do not know the name in English, but some kind of science thing. And in the end, we connected that concept with the in English that would be the road network, I believe, or like the roadmap in a country, and then the concept became extremely easy to remember, to understand, and the different science topic in that case from our bodies, and how certain sicknesses happen, etc. All that became easier to understand through storytelling. So
Yes.
we are connected to stories, and then, as you mentioned, plus data plus story makes that easier. So loyalty programs and point systems, for instance, are extremely um, effective. Sadly, sometimes, because that means that you're spending more. So there are these companies that every year send a text message to my wife, stores, and and almost every year that's a good excuse for her to buy something. Although this year she used those points or discounts to buy gifts to me, so I'm grateful for that. But
Uh,
uh, but in this case, what I'm trying to get is that if you're not creating an emotional connection with your audience, then
mhm.
you're leaving many opportunities out of that equation. For instance, Adobe and Forrester in the business impact of customer experience, in the study, basically, they found that Companies, brands with strong customer experience and personalization see a decent increase, 1.6 to 1.9x in terms of higher customer lifetime value and greater purchase rates. And this is extremely important because, for example, I do not remember if it was Forrester or who, but last year, customer experience, like the quality, decreased, for instance, in the US across top brands. And when COVID hit, thank God, a few years ago now, uh,
Yeah.
many organizations, many brands made a huge effort in terms of improving how they serve their people, digital
Yes.
interactions and all that. But when these brands got comfortable, many of them stopped paying attention to many critical aspects of it, like that emotional connection.
Yeah.
And brands that do take that into account do perform better because their customers remember them for a longer period of time and are able and are willing to spend more money in them. So that's not just because in the end they are receiving discounts or things like that. Obviously, that helps. It is
Mhm.
because there is an emotional connection. And
Yes.
emotional loyalty requires consistent personal connection across every touch point.
Yes, that's correct. Actually, the points, the rewards can just go, can just bring you up to somewhere, but the emotional attachment can bring you to a long journey with your customers. According to McKinsey's report, 71% of consumers expect personalized interactions, and 76% gets frustrated when they don't happen. But personalization isn't about adding more data fields. It's about making data feel human. For
Mm,
example, instead of saying you use our platform 120 hours, you gain three more work days back to focus on what matters most.
mm,
We are using the same data, but
mm,
it feels more humanized. That's
mm,
contextualizing value. We are delivering this through video so that it becomes a story, simple, visual, and memorable. That's how
mm.
you turn metrics into meaning.
That makes total sense. Actually, imagine, for instance, a customer that one of your customers receives in the same industry, energy, a short personalized video that says, "Hi, Alex, you've been with us for a year, and your commitment has made a real impact." Actually, I have a video here. I'm gonna try to play it. I'm gonna find a video that says something similar to that, and let me see if we can share my screen. Um, Share screen, share, and hopefully it is with audio. So this is a personalized video for those that perhaps it's the first time they see one. And this is a data-driven video. So it's using real customer data, but
Mhm.
it's taking into account that emotional connection Bryan was referring to. Let me play it for you.
Hello, Tom. Your choice for clean energy has made a big impact. You used 8,200 kilowatt hours this year, making a real difference. You've also saved $600. That's 25% more than traditional energy costs. Your clean energy choice has saved 4.5 tons of CO2 emissions. Thanks for your dedication. You have been very inspiring with your loyalty. Let's keep building a sustainable future together. Share your victory. Tell your friends and family about your success with clean energy.
So this is a personalized video example that
Mhm.
somehow expresses what you were referring to. So in the end, you are connecting their data, in this case, Tom's data, with his particular context and aspirations. In this case, it's a mix between you have saved money and the I have no clue about environmental stuff. But the fact that you have chosen a clean energy it positively impacts our world, etc., and expresses in a creative way what how that translates or what it translates into in his world, and then it also taps into why don't you share this with the people and obviously there is $100 as a discount for sharing the success history. So in the end, it goes beyond the name of the person, and it goes beyond informing the person that it's just saving. It's using that experience, the emotions, etc., to help, in this case, Tom understand information and in such a way that it is clear. And because it is clear, when there is a value proposition he can directly see, it makes it easier for him to share the video with his network, which in the end it makes the message more to go further, let's say, to what it was initially, not just that contact, but even the network or the people around that, in this case, Tom, that contact. So with this, we see brands using personal, for instance, automating these stories at scale, where you see each viewer, each person, each contact seeing and understanding their own story with your brand, with their brand, in a way that makes sense according to their context. And in this case, using the combined power of data and audiovisual in storytelling, which is what you do with video, which happens to be the format or the type of content we or most of us kind of like or love.
Yes.
So when people see themselves in their story, they stay longer. And this is not just a romantic view in terms of, oh, how cool video content, but that's just what the numbers show. And actually, here I have a stat from Twilio segment. So in the State of Personalization report from 2024, in this case, and they found that 92% of businesses see AI-driven personalization as a key driver of customer loyalty, for customer loyalty. So in the end, for brands that take this seriously, personalization drives between 10 to 15% like revenue in terms of the revenue lift, and on average. And top performing brands can achieve even up to 25%, which is an extremely decent lift. Our own clients, for instance, at Personal, see that change. Actually, I have, for example, there is this brand. We're going to talk more about it in another episode, but they are in also the sustainability field, and they replaced a static PDF report with personalized impact videos automatically generated, in this case, by our platform, our personalized video software, the Personal platform. And these videos were created automatically from a spreadsheet. That's it. They had their customer data in a spreadsheet. That spreadsheet is what's uploaded into the platform, and then the videos, landing pages, interactions, everything from there was automatically created by our platform. Result, engagement increased or soared. Over 60% of recipients watched, 3/4 interacted, and more than 100 of them shared their story, their video publicly within hours. So that's the impact when you combine, in this case, data, yes, but in a way that is easier to digest, easier to understand through video storytelling, and you have a personalized video that is unique to that individual, unique to their context. So any thoughts, Bryan, before I continue talking?
Yeah, about that. Actually, when you have that, when you're saying about our customers that this increase that they have, so it has higher chances of for them to be loyal to your brand. It's becoming they become more attached, and not just because of the data, but because
Mhm.
they are being attached emotionally to all these things, and they can easily understand because they're not just reading the usual generic PDF.
Mhm.
It's a video that is interactive, just like the video you showed a while ago. It's
Mhm.
very short, simple, and yet it's very memorable to that person.
That is correct. That is correct. So a few recommendations. So how can your brand, for instance, do that? So whoever is listening or watching right now.
Mhm.
So perhaps 5 steps. Define your goals, be specific, um, as close to your KPIs as possible. Is that renewals, referrals, whatever it is, make sure to measure it and compare. You need to compare it to other, basically your benchmark to previous campaigns, so that you know what's working, what's not working, or what needs optimization, where optimization is required. Number two, identify key moments in that customer journey. Is that maybe onboarding? Is it an anniversary? Is it a renewal? Whatever makes sense in your world. And don't start like with all of them at once. That's going to be too much. Start where you see that there is a higher chance to add more value to their journey, but connect to your customer's journey, but connected to your particular business goals, referrals, etc. Three, map your data. Many organizations think about this. For instance, when we think about personalized video creation, you can automatically create thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of videos in an automated way. Yes, but many times organizations, marketing teams think about this as some kind of complex CRM connection or API connections, etc. Obviously, that's possible. Flexibility is important, but more often than not, starting with a CSV or a spreadsheet is the easiest path, for
Yes.
the majority of teams. So this avoids any complex or even simple integration, avoids internal approvals from maybe a CRM team or a marketing automation team or a web team, etc. And it saves you so much time. Or
Yes.
craft emotional messages. Um, Avoid just printing the data. Use their data to help them understand their context, help them help them um, see themselves as the heroes, let's say, of their stories. And if um, they already know their name, that's going to be important as an initial engagement strategy. But if you have perhaps some numbers, or maybe the value proposition changes depending on the ideal customer profile or depending on their buyer persona, use that information to better engage with them, and all that can be personalized at scale. And
Yes.
lastly, once you have all these, then you can easily automate and scale. In fact, Personal links your data to personalized video templates that, by the way, our team creates for you at no extra cost, and also even to landing pages, so that you can deliver hundreds of thousands of one-to-one video messages in a scalable way. But not just because you can create the videos automatically. That's not it. The thing here is being able to successfully engage with each and every individual based on their context. And that's what makes the big difference.
Yes, yes. So don't forget about these 5 steps that Joseas is saying. Also, what's happening in the industry right now is there is a lot of innovation. There's a lot of new things that is happening. So what happens if you don't shift? What will happen if you stay generic renewal emails, like you're just sending them PDFs and emails, you will get low response and low retention. But if you move and be innovative right now, and you try personalized story, you will get high engagement and higher loyalty.
Mm,
You work too hard to lose customers to silence. We don't want that to happen to anyone, to you,
mm,
special to you who's listening right now. Loyalty isn't just a program, it's a relationship maintained through relevance. That's why today I want to advise you to keep adapting, to keep evolving yourself. And right now, as we see it in the market, the old generic emails are long gone. We are now entering into a new season
Mm.
wherein personalized story is really highly recommended. So,
Mm.
to all our viewers right now, if this resonates you and you want to see how personalized video can strengthen your customer journey, we'd love to help you. We are offering a free call sessions to help you identify what your team needs for their 2026 personalized retention plan, or if you want to to keep up for this year and you want to try it and see for the this year you have your data and you want to try it so that on the next year your customers will remain loyal to you, you can approach us and you can visit our page, our website at personal.com. That personal with an I, don't forget that. Okay, so we'll map your
Mhm.
retention touch points and show how personalized video can create connections at scale. So for today, let's have, I want to ask some questions to you, Jose. Is that okay?
That's okay. I mean, what can I do now?
I'll be asking some questions. Most likely, people who's watching right now will have we will be asking this one. Um, one of my question is, what metrics matters most for measuring loyalty today?
Obviously, depends on industry, type of audience, etc. But go beyond when we talk about video, for example, video personalization. Go beyond opens or views. So opens for emails and views for videos. You need to track things like renewals. You need to track things like referrals, advocacy rates, because those are quote unquote tangible. So you would know if one thing is knowing that people are watching their personalized videos. Usually, watch rates, like viewing rates, are high. Even click the percentage of people clicking on the personalized calls to action, all that is usually higher than any other type of video communication. However, you need to connect that with a particular next step you want them to take in a specific period of time. So that's when you see things like you can track things like renewals, referrals, advocacy rates, and most people do not know that they can use personalized calls to action within these videos. And
Yes.
personalized calls to action are about 200% more effective than generic calls to action. So they are a huge blessing when it comes to video marketing, for instance. And that's again how you connect that call to action to your specific KPIs.
Yes, just like the one that you showed a while ago, the
Yeah.
100%, the 100 discount. Yeah,
Hmm.
that can really help to
Hmm.
for our customers or to their customers.
Hmm.
Um, for my second question, uh, can you still receive more questions?
I can. I'm here.
All right. So for these personalized videos, how often should we personalize customer communication?
How often should we personalize customer communications? I would say
Yeah.
to focus on specific moments in the journey that are relevant to your customers, but also through the lens of your specific business goals. So I do not think so. I think that all every touch point needs to be relevant to what your customer needs. And in some cases, you'll use personalization because it is the best way to serve them better, not just to wow them, but it's the best way to serve them better, to make it easier for them to take a next step. And in other cases, maybe personalization won't add much. If you can use it, great. But if it requires a bigger effort versus the ROI that is expected from that action, and if the value is not in there for your audience, maybe there is no need, um, quote unquote. So go back to what will serve your customers, employees, your audience better, so that they better understand the information, and because of that they take a next step in their journey. And sometimes even not always about understanding information. Sometimes it is about helping them feel like at home with
Yeah.
you. And that's one, those are the biggest cases, let's say, of behind hello first name personalization, also for video personalization, because it emotionally connects with them. So it's not about every message. Again, just focus on what adds value to your audience, also through the lens of your specific business goals. You need to find the balance there, at least in my view.
Amazing, amazing. So making to focus on what matters most and what's important to their customer
Hmm.
to their customers. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's amazing. That's amazing. And I have last question for you. How long does it take to launch a personalized video campaign? I think many will be waiting for this answer.
Yeah, it depends. That's the ugly answer, right? So if if they have everything ready, they have already decided to do it. They have the assets created, um, and our team helps we help our clients with every single step there, depending on their bandwidth and all that. When everything is absolutely ready, they could launch even like within a week or so.
Mhm.
But at the same time, the reality is that most teams are going to be slower, especially their first time. So many of them, on average, are going to take between 1 month and a month and a half. And a lot of that has to do with sometimes just bandwidth on their end, maybe excitement, and they have more stakeholders paying attention to this. It really depends. Once things are in place, at least with our software, you can automatically create content, videos, landing pages, interactions. Like, it is super fast. It is really fast. But there are previous steps that need to be in place. Usually three areas: strategy, whatever that has to do with the creative field. So the look and feel of the videos, like storyboard, the initial script, all that. And then also the technical part. If you are perhaps sending this through your CRM, or leveraging any of our integrations, or if you are sending this through you're leveraging text messages, which, by the way, is back in many countries, delivering really good results. So all that in the end needs to be taken into account. So to sum up, it could be ready within days, or perhaps a week, but the majority of teams are going to take between a month and a month and a half, from when they say let's do this to when things are actually launched to their audience.
Yes. So what you're trying to say is, if we if a customer, or if someone is watching here today and they want to do this before this year ends, they can still do it, right?
That is correct. That is correct. There is plenty of time still. Yeah.
Amazing,
Actually,
amazing.
year-end campaigns, year-in review campaigns, obviously anything around Christmas and so on. So there are great, great, great opportunities. And around, like, um, December, a lot of brands are going to be launching communications that are not going to stand out. And many brands are going to launch communications that cost them a lot of money. And
Yes.
it is not about just adding one more task in the marketing to-do list, or internal communications even to-do list. We need to make sure that any message that is shared with them, to them, has is there to support the experience somehow, is there to help them see the value you have delivered throughout the year. For instance, when we talk about year in reviews or year recap, year end campaigns, which are common around this season of the year, with video personalization, for instance. So don't just do another task from that to-do list. It's better to think, okay, what's the best way to engage with them? How can we help this audience understand what we have done for them, which is 100% legit? It's good, and that those are the things that will help you increase loyalty. Now coming into 2026.
Yes, yes. And especially to those who are watching, I believe they also have their data already right now, maybe in their spreadsheets, even if they don't have CRM tools, and they
Mhm.
can use it to take this opportunity before this year ends, and they make something different, innovative, and at the same time touching the customers emotionally. That's amazing. All right. So thank you so much, Joseas. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
everyone, for joining us today. I just remember this one. Customers who stays longest aren't just satisfied. They feel seen. So this message, the messages they remember are the ones that remember them. So let's make your brand one that they'll never forget. So, Jose, has anything that you want to say to
Just
to
thank
our
you.
viewers?
That's it. Thank you, you all. To the next. Until the next.
All
You
right,
guys
all
take
right.
care.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye.